Make the ground shake.
This chapter of Fairy Tail was definitely better than last week's. I can already say that right off the bat, and it's understandable for anyone who read last week's chapter. So this chapter, I felt like it just was mainly set up for the fight between Demiria and Lucy, which I was fooled by Hiromashima and Brandish because I thought it was going to be Brandish versus Lucy, but we come to find out that Brandish was just putting on a show, and Demiria saw right through it, but I didn't. Shows how gullible I am. So this chapter was like 10 times better than last chapter. Like, I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. I know I previously said it, but that's how much better it was. Now, it wasn't the greatest chapter out there, but last week's chapter was garbage, like I said last week when I reviewed that chapter. So this chapter definitely does redeem last week a little bit, but not all the way, because last week was just that much garbage. Now, the future chapters, I don't know, I can't tell you, because, well, it looks like that Brandish is dead or close to death, and if she actually is dead and she comes back, which she will, I'm not even gonna say most likely, she'll come back, because it's Fairy Tail, and if you have your expectations up, don't. Now, Demiria is definitely mad, and she now hates Lucy, because she blames Lucy for Brandish being that way, which is like, you just killed her, and now you're blaming Lucy for it. So it's just like, no, just no. And also, one thing that I thought was, like, I was like, freaking out, Natsu's tumor that he had, which I completely forgot about, is now back to its original size. But what threw me off even more was when Demiria said if Brandish wanted to, she could blow Natsu up from the inside by making the tumor way bigger than it was. So I was just like, that's crazy. Like, if that happened, which it wouldn't because it's Fairy Tail, if that happened though, that would be crazy. Now, what I'm looking forward to is like something to do with E&D. Just even if there's a mention of E&D, just a mention of him from Demiria, I just want to see that. And I also had like a really cool theory that maybe Gray will show up in the midst of this, and he will come to like kill Natsu because he doesn't know that Juvie is still alive, and his magic, his Demon Slayer magic, has basically took over him, probably at least, if not close to taking over him. And if that happens, he may just go straight to over where Natsu's at and try to kill Natsu. So that would definitely be crazy if that happens. Now, that may not happen, so don't keep your hopes up. Just a little theory that's out there. Just kind of want to mention it a little bit. But there's not really that much to talk about this chapter, but there's a whole lot to theorize about this chapter. So really, that's all I have for this review, guys. It was a pretty good chapter overall. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Like I said, 10 times better than last week. And just make sure you give me a like if you enjoyed this review. And if you enjoyed the chapter, comment down below. Tell me what you thought of this chapter, and do you think it's better than last week's chapter? Now, it's crazy. You're crazy if you say last week's chapter was better than this chapter, because last week's chapter was garbage. But anyways, guys, subscribe for more content. Have a nice day.